6 honored ones, unknown, to the mountains and rivers, and to spirits in general. In the 2nd month of the year he made a tour of inspection eastward as far as Mount T'ai, in modern Shantung, where he presented a burnt offering to God and sacrificed to the mountains and rivers. The great Yu, who drained the empire and came to the throne in BC 2205 as first emperor of the Sai dynasty, followed in the lines of his pious predecessors. But the Emperor Kung Chai, BC 1879 to 1848, who at first had treated the spirits with all due reverence, fell into evil ways and was abandoned by God. This was the beginning of the end. In BC 1766, Tang, the Completer, founder of the Shang dynasty, set to work to overthrow Cui Kuai, the last ruler of the Hsai dynasty. He began by sacrificing to Almighty God and asking for a blessing on his undertaking. And in his subsequent proclamation to the empire, he spoke of that God as follows: God has given to every man a conscience, and if all men acted in accordance with its dictates, they would not stray from the right path. The way of God is to bless the good and punish the bad. He has sent down calamities on the house of Sai to make manifest its crimes. In BC 1637, the Emperor Tai Mao succeeded. His reign was marked by the supernatural appearance in the palace of 2 mulberry trees, which in a single night grew to such a size that they could hardly be spanned by 2 hands. The emperor was terrified, whereupon a minister said, "No prodigy is a match for virtue. Your Majesty's government is no doubt at fault, and some reform of conduct is necessary." Accordingly, the emperor began to act more circumspectly, after which the mulberry trees soon withered and died. The Emperor Wu Ting, BC 1324 to 1264, began his reign by not speaking for 3 years, leaving all state affairs to be decided by his prime minister, while he himself gained experience. Later on, the features of a sage were revealed to him in a dream, and on waking, he caused a portrait of the apparition to be prepared and circulated throughout the empire. The sage was found, and for a long time aided the emperor in the right administration of government. On the occasion of a sacrifice, a pheasant perched upon the handle of the great sacrificial tripod, and crowed, at which the emperor was much alarmed. "Be not afraid," cried a minister, "but begin by reforming your government. God looks down upon mortals, and in accordance with their deserts, grants them many years or few. God does not shorten men's lives, they do that themselves. Some are wanting in virtue and will not acknowledge their transgressions. Only when God chastens them do they cry, 'What are we to do?'" One of the last emperors of the Shang dynasty, Wu Yi, who reigned BC 1198 to 1194, even went so far as to make an image in human form which he called God. With this image he used to play at dice, causing someone to throw for the image, and if God lost, he would overwhelm the image with insult. He also made a bag of leather, which he filled with blood and hung up. Then he would shoot at it, saying that he was shooting God. By and by, when he was out hunting, he was struck down by a violent thunderclap and killed. Finally, when the Shang dynasty sank into the lowest depths of moral abasement, King Wu, who charged himself with its overthrow, and who subsequently became the first sovereign of the Chou dynasty, offered sacrifices to Almighty God and also to Mother Earth. "The King of Shang," he said in his address to the high officers who collected around him, "does not reverence God above, and inflicts calamities on the people below. Almighty God is moved with indignation." On the day of the final battle he declared that he was acting in the matter of punishment merely as the instrument of God, and after his great victory and the establishment of his own line, it was to God that he rendered thanks. In this primitive monotheism, of which only scanty but no doubt genuine records remain, no place was found for any being such as the Buddhist Mara or the devil of the Old and New Testaments. God inflicted his own punishments by visiting calamities on mankind, just as he bestowed his own rewards by sending bounteous harvests in due season. Evil spirits were a later invention, and their operations were even